Ew. In this video, I'm going to be going over why I sell on both Etsy and on Shopify. So I'm going to cover some main key points on really why I think it's important to sell on both platforms. And also, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do you start the Etsy store first or the Shopify store? Mainly breaking this down into like 6 main key talking points. That's what I'm going to be covering in this video, so let's get into it. What's up guys, my name is Hannah Gardner, and if you are new to the channel, I talk about mainly building brands online and also a lot of entrepreneurship stuff as well. So if that is what you are into, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because I am putting out videos very much more regularly than before. As I mentioned before, in this video, I'm talking about why I think it's important to also sell on Shopify if you are an Etsy seller, and if you're an Etsy seller to also sell on Shopify, as well as what you should do first if you're just starting out, or what I think you should do first if you're just starting out, depending on what you're actually selling. If you actually are a good fit for Etsy, that is, of course. As I mentioned, I broke it up into 6 points. The first main point, I believe that you should do both. So not just sell on Etsy, which by the way, I'm going to talk about more in depth on why I think you should launch Etsy first if your products are a good fit for Etsy, which I recommend that you do if you believe that you're a good fit for Etsy. But with that being said, I don't think you should just have an Etsy store. I think you should also have a Shopify store, because while selling on a third-party platform is important, it's also important that you're collecting your own data somewhere else. Unlike selling on Amazon or Etsy or eBay, where you are a third-party seller, so you don't own Etsy, that means you don't own your customer list. That means that all of your emails, all of your customers, your phone numbers, all your basically sales data, it belongs to Etsy. Now, when you own your own website and you have your own storefront sales channel, it gives you just a lot more control, what you can do, what language you want to have, if you want to, send email campaigns, text message campaigns to your own customers, and have a more connection and relationship to your customers. That's really, really, really important. Maybe if you're just starting out, just start on Etsy because it's easier. But with that being said, you really want to eventually own your own sales data. So that is the first reason why I would say Shopify. It's really important to have some type of website, whether it's on Shopify or not, but where you can have a website where you have giving customers an option to buy from your own storefront. The next reason, while I mentioned it before briefly, when you are selling on a third-party platform, again, you're playing in someone else's sandbox. Again, if they change a rule, if they change a policy, or even if they suspend your account for no reason and you have no reason why you shut your account down, where I've heard this happening numerous times, again, you're playing in someone else's sandbox where you really have little to no control. If from one day to the next you wake up and your account is gone. And I've personally had this happen to me, and it is the worst experience in the world, because these companies like Amazon and eBay and Etsy, they're such large companies. Like, you're just another little fish in line waiting, on the other side of the phone trying to get to some customer service rep, hopefully is going to help you. I've personally had this happen where I've had my account shut down. It is just mortifying. And so to combat that, I would say that you really should, have some type of website or something at least where, if they can't find your store name on Etsy, you still show up on Google and they can buy, a product from your store. In my experience with Etsy, it was a horrible experience trying to get a hold of somebody. You would call and they would just hang up the phone and not give you any insight on, what happened. We did eventually getting our accounts back, and they did end up telling us that it was a glitch in their system. Long story short, it's really, really important that you do have, something that you have full control over. With that being said, when you're driving traffic to your website, if you're running ads from Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, not to say that if your main source of traffic is coming from ads accounts, these ad platforms can do the same thing to you, where they change the algorithm or, ban your ads account or something like that, where I've heard all of these scenarios happen before as well. Again, that's just the name of the game with e-commerce, but it's still important that you have your sales channel channels and you have multiple sales channels where people, know your brand and they have that option to buy somewhere. Third reason I think it's really, really important to also sell on Shopify or on your website is because you do have the potential to reach more customers. Etsy is, a growing platform. There's only a certain amount of search volume on Etsy. Etsy is, I would say, newer on the scope of like third-party selling platforms. If you compare it to something like an Amazon or, an eBay, where the search volume on Etsy is still very large, but you are going to be able to reach an even larger audience if you're driving traffic from Instagram or from TikTok or some social media application. Your reach is much farther, so you can, really advertise on a larger global scale to your website. Now, with that being said, you may spend more money on marketing, driving traffic to a website or your Shopify store than you're going to spend on Etsy, which is a beautiful thing about Etsy that we'll talk about in a second. But with that trade-off being said, you are going to spend more on marketing cold traffic to get people to your website, but the opportunity to grow a really large email list or a really large, customer base on Shopify, and that list that you actually own. So you own your customers where you can then retarget them with ads or with emails or text messages. You just have that opportunity on a Shopify store that you don't have on Etsy. Now, going more into the Etsy side of things, why I think it's really important to use Etsy as a platform, especially when you're first starting out. If your products are a good fit for Etsy, I would say Etsy is a really, really good place to start out because, again, with Etsy, your cost for marketing is going to be significantly less because people that are going to Etsy.com are going to the platform organically searching in keywords of products that you're selling, and it's the warmest traffic possible that you can probably find on the internet other than your own customer list. What that means is when you're running ads in Etsy or launching listings on Etsy, the people that are seeing your listings are people that are already searching for those things to buy. So they already have the intention of spending money when they go into Etsy. When you're running ads to a website, you're showing it to maybe lukewarm traffic of people that like your stuff, or maybe like they fall into your customer avatar, but they're not necessarily on Instagram or on Facebook or on TikTok looking to buy something. People on Etsy go to Etsy knowing that they're going to spend money. So that's why it's so much more cheaper in some cases to acquire a customer than it is on a website. So when you're first starting out and you're going through this huge learning curve of learning ads and learning how to, launch your products and learning marketing and learning photography and learning how to run a business, Etsy's really easy on the scope of a learning curve when it comes to learning how to get your foot in the door with e-commerce and how to ship things and all that stuff. So Etsy's a really, really good starting ground. And my fifth key talking point to go with this whole Etsy point is that while it's also easier to acquire a customer, it also gives you a really, really good data on your store and your products. When you launch on Etsy, you're gonna learn really fast in the realm of the Etsy customer, base. You're gonna learn what your best sellers are, what pictures convert the best. You can look in your own Etsy stats to see, these keywords get me the most impressions and, really what it works with your store. And you can use those key data points on the Shopify sides of things. So then when you go to run Instagram ads or TikTok ads, hey, this is my best seller on Etsy. Let me try to run an ad to that product on TikTok or Instagram because obviously I just collected all this data from my Etsy store and this is what's winning. So that may mean that on a larger scale, so when I market this to a larger audience, that could be another bestseller. And it's something that people really, really like and it gets really good reviews. Etsy is also going to give you a lot of really good data points on maybe some things that are wrong with your product or things that you need to fix or, some of the price points that you need to change, which are all things that you don't really know when you're first starting out. So as you learn how to do product research, niche analysis and competitor research on Etsy, a lot of those skills translate translate, and a lot of that data translates when you start launching, you know, and building out a Shopify store. And obviously the marketing strategies for the two are completely different, but the data points and the KPIs, you can use that data for on both ends, if that makes sense. I have other videos on my channel that shows you really how I do product research, so I really recommend that you check those out as well. And also, if you are interested in signing up for Etsy or Shopify, both of those links are in my description, and I am an affiliate for both Shopify and Etsy. So if you do sign up for either platform with my affiliate link, I do get a percentage back. I'm not exactly sure how much, but it will help my channel a lot and help me keep making these videos. So if you do, that would be awesome. And my last talking point, I already kind of did mention this before, but again, it is the cheapest traffic that you're going to get. When you're starting out and your budget is low, and maybe, you know, you're launching this store on a low budget, it's going to be significantly cheaper when you're running ads on Etsy than it's going to cost you on Shopify with running ads from Instagram, TikTok, etc. Unless you're really just going the organic route with Shopify and just trying to make viral TikTok videos or viral Instagram videos or something where the product just blows up. That is one option. But if you don't feel like you have that social media suave ability to create viral product videos, then I would say that, you know, running PPC on Etsy will be your fastest and cheapest, you know, line of action when it comes to creating the cheapest or trying to find the cheapest traffic out there when you're first starting out. So yeah, that is my 6 main reasons why I sell on both platforms, kind of going back and forth from each platform and why I like both. It's kind of a love-hate relationship with both, but that's also just the nature of business, no matter what you're doing. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe, comment any of your questions down below, and give this video a thumbs up if you think you got any value out of it. And I will see you guys in the next video.